Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? Welcome people. Think just like day 2 or 3. Streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. Make sure y'all go like, comment, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Like I'm not used to saying that, so y'all gonna have to bear with me. So today what we doing is we about to watch LeBron. I think his name Pat McAfee. About to watch him do his interview. I feel a great a great honor watching this because again it's like he talking about what's going on with the what you want to say the old media and how like some people they get a little bit too comfortable in what they're doing. Again, everybody is entitled to their opinion. I don't really know how y'all feel about the LeBron thing, but I'm looking at it from a, being a creator, being a commentator on, the spaces that I'm in. And it's a certain level of respect that you gotta have because these people is, people just like you and me. They got everyday problems. So like I just wanna, watch this with y'all, see what y'all think, get some insight. And then, we pretty much just gonna be reacting. So, whatever happened, whatever dog say, that's what we gonna react to, and then we going off it like that. So make sure y'all buckle up and just know any of these ads that pop up, they not, shout out to y'all for getting y'all, getting y'all get off. I know I'm reviewing, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure y'all go, tap in with Underscore Network, go tap in with ODG Gaming. We doing a lot of gaming stuff. I don't know if y'all been peeping. We've been doing a lot of the Madden mobile stuff. I know once we get our setup all the way together, we're gonna be having Madden tournaments, the real Madden tournaments. We just gonna be doing a bunch of stuff. So just make sure y'all stay tuned. We about to get into the video right now. We about to react. We about to, see what LeBron talking about and then go from there. Y'all can hear. Let me make sure y'all can hear. And it's uncensored too. So I ain't mean to pick this version, but that was the version that was available. So I ain't finna be picky about it. You know? Switch. So, not playing on sound. Let me figure this out real quick. Hey, why I don't want to play the audio? Oh, shout out to Jeff Hardy and the Hardy Boys. Oh man, let me see. Hold on, gotta. Sorry, bro. Yes, man. Coming to y'all with the boo boo cap. I'm super chilling. I just want to do something a little different. I know everybody doing their thing, but I want to make sure that y'all can at least hear. 'Cause that's the whole point why we even here. Let me see. See if I can pull that thing up. So we live. I'm 60 when they try to get off. Let's see.
Is it what is it about this year?
I mean, I think obviously I've been in the game for a while, so I kind of know what to expect. And obviously, one, you got to take care of your body, but more importantly, you got to take care of your mind. Being a professional athlete, if your mind is not as sharp as possible or as clear as possible, then you're not going to be able to perform at a high level. I think seeing what our team is capable of doing. Even before the big acquisition of picking up Luka, I thought we had a good chance of making a good run. So I wanted to make sure that I was there, not only physically, but also mentally and just give to the season. But I felt pretty good, man, throughout the whole season. I know I had a little small injury that kept me out 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago, but I'm back and I feel great.
We watched you do the sprint down the court thing. It was hilarious. You're just like 40 years old, doing the same thing you're doing whenever you're 18, 20.
Yeah,
and we'll talk about the Luka trade. We'll talk about the Lakers, but you talked about, having clarity in mind and feeling good going into the season because you knew you could go on a run. There was that say, what, you spent like $1 million on your body or something.
Man, I don't know where the hell that shit came from.
Okay. That's a very fair assessment.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but I mean, listen, man, I do take care of my body, but I have no idea where the amount of money came from. But I do invest in my body for sure, trying to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Obviously a lot of soft tissue work, a lot of massages, a lot of hyperbaric chambers, ice tubs, ice baths, whatever I can do to continue to play at this level, man. I'm gonna continue to do what I'm playing.
You've committed your entire life to ball,
right? Booty.
Right? And you love the sport. Is that your drive? Is how much you love the sport? Or why do you think at this age you're still going as hard as
there's no way I'll be still playing, at this level, Pat, if I wasn't in love with it or didn't commit to it. I've had an opportunity to be able to be blessed with a crazy God-given talent. And a lot of us are, to be completely honest, when you find your niche in sports, there's a lot of people that's born with unbelievable talents, but it's literally the ones that like really commit to their craft and literally commit to the sport in general. Being able to pour yourself into it is what you're going to get out of it too. So I figured shit, when I knew I had
Shout
a
out
gift at
to
like
whoever on the joint.
13,
Shout out
14,
to
that I
y'all.
was out there on the court and I was running past guys and jumping higher and, you know, making passes and doing things that the other 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds wasn't doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh shit,
This could be it.
this could be it.
Yeah.
This could be it. And like, I'm living in, you know, Section 8 housing. It's me and my mom, you know, we trying to figure it out. And I'm like, oh shit, if I commit to this, I can figure it out. I can figure it out for not only myself, but for my mom. I'm get out of the, you know, the inner city and make something out of it. So, you know, big time for sure.
And your friends, you've taken care of everybody. And I think that is one of the things that I love the most. You know, we have Rich on here multiple times. I love Rich.
The man.
He's been very good to us, but just like the way you take care of your people, the way you've kind of done everything is admirable. It never gets talked about, obviously.
No, I appreciate it.
And the chatter that surrounds you, since you have been a guy since you were 13, and I remember the Hummer story and the shoe deals and everything back then. What's going on now with the NIL? I mean, it's completely different.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, I can imagine if NIL was around when I was in high school, I'd have loaded up. I'd have loaded up big time for sure.
Well, I think you already were, which is part of the problem.
Right.
But literally, since that superstar, since you're like a teenager, as soon as you get in the NBA, obviously the chosen one, here we go. This is it. You're in Cleveland. You immediately start getting compared.
I want to know something. How much do y'all think LeBron would have got if NIL existed in his, like when he was coming out, he came straight out of high school. So some of y'all don't know. I know some of my younger people that follow me, like some of y'all don't even know. Like LeBron got drafted out of high school. And if you don't know that LeBron got drafted out of high school, you need to just stop claiming that you watch sports. You need to just go ahead, go debate or something. But how much do y'all think LeBron really would have got if he was able to get the NIL money? Like how they doing now? Like how much? Like comment, you know what I'm saying? Comment, tweet, whatever y'all do. Like just let me know. Like how much do y'all think he really would have got if he was able to do NIL, when he was coming out? Let me know.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And as a person that's in sports, and we are all sports fans, we saw that happen. I assume at the beginning, massive compliment. Is that a massive compliment?
No, it was. I can remember like my first game, when I watched the replay, my first game on national television, it was like, will he be one of the one name guys that ever played this game? It was like, he was like Wilt, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Jordan, all these first name guys.
Shaq.
And then at the end, it was like LeBron. And I'm like, fuck, I'm 17 years old. I was like, what the hell is this? Why you guys are giving me this already? It's like, I haven't done anything. And it's like, it was a compliment to be able to be, in the names of those guys, but it was also like super fucking scary and intimidating too. It was like, I'm just a small kid from Akron, Ohio. I don't even know what.
Well, very tall. And at that point, I think they're a little bit more jacked. Because the game called for it. But whenever you talk about it being a scary situation, you never let that image out publicly. And I think none of us ever saw you being scared. None of us ever saw you kind of flapped at all. You're an unflappable force.
Yeah.
And you've been in the public eye for so long. I think you would probably admit that you probably fucked some things up on the way, but you haven't really.
Right.
You're like and I said it earlier, child star, like most people, especially you talk about Section 8 housing, coming from nothing to everything, being in the public eye, at some point that is going to collapse a human.
Yeah, for sure.
For you, it feels like it hasn't. And there's been a lot of things said. There's been a lot of fires that you've been put into, either you walked into yourself or thrown into. Why do you think that is the case? Do you think it's because your mom? Do you think it's because what?
I mean, obviously, I give her a lot of credit for the way she raised me, the way she taught me, the things that she was able to instill in me. There was also me just looking at her, the way she moved and the way how determined she was to be able to make my life better, even with the circumstances that we were growing up in. So I give her a lot of credit. I had some little league coaches too that, taught me about not only just, playing the game and teaching me the game of basketball, but also being a young man, throughout my small adolescent years. And then just like, to be completely honest, like I didn't want to fuck my opportunity up. I knew that the statistics for an inner city black kid to be able to be in a position that I was in, especially from my hometown, shit, it never ever happens.
Never.
It never
works out either.
It never happens, and if it does happen, it never works out. And it was a. I mean, I don't want to throw him under the bus, but the only inspiration like we had was like Jerome Lane, the guy who like dunked and shattered the backboard that played for Pittsburgh. He was from Akron, Ohio. Like we saw that and we was like, oh shit, that's an inspiration. And then I went through high school, and all my boys know this too. Like I went
he broke
through high school, and we was playing against the inner city kids because we went to an all Catholic high school.
Hold on, bro.
And
Calm down. Calm down. So broke the rim.
That you've been put into, either you walked into yourself or thrown into. Why do you think that is the case? Do you think it's because your mom? Do you think it's because what?
I mean, obviously, I give her a lot of credit for the way she raised me, the way she taught me, the things that she was able to instill in me. It was also me just looking at her, the way she moved and the way how determined she was to be able to make my life better, even with the circumstances that we were growing up in. So I give her a lot of credit. I have some little league coaches too that taught me about not only just playing the game and teaching me the game of basketball, but also being a young man, throughout my small adolescent years. And then just like, to be completely honest, like I didn't want to fuck my opportunity up. Like I knew that the statistics for an inner city black kid to be able to be in a position that I was in, especially for my hometown, shit, it never ever happens.
Never.
It
to the ones in the
never works out either.
It never happens, and if it does happen, it never works out. It was a. I mean, I want to throw him under the bus, but the only inspiration like we had was like Jerome Lane, the guy who like dunked and shattered the backboard that played for Pittsburgh. He was from Akron, Ohio. Like we saw that and we was like, oh shit, that's an inspiration. And then I went through high school, and all my boys know this too. Like I went through high school and we was playing against the inner city kids because we went to an all high school. And fucking Jerome Lane was like hating on us.
Just imagine. Just imagine you playing high school, but no, you playing college basketball, and you get dunked on, in the rim break in the same sequence. Like imagine that. Like that'd be crazy. Like you probably wanna hang your shoes up, dog.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this motherfucker, like he's back in Akron hating on us, like going against us. And I'm like, oh shit, you was like our only inspiration. We like looked up to you. And I was like, you know what? I can't fuck this opportunity up, man. If I get the opportunity to make it, I gotta do what I have to do to put my city on to represent my last name on my back, man, my family, my friends, and also like it's sport. Sport has given us so much. I mean, I look around here. I mean, fucking baseballs and NFL helmets and basketball jerseys and like seriously, like a putt thing. Like seriously, like it's given us so much. So like I couldn't mess the opportunity up.
Well, you've done. Hey, I think you figured it out. Yeah. You've done good. Now we'll see what's left. Now the conversation is how many years is he going to play? You look like you could probably play forever. Debo has a question for you.
Right, so kind of on that note, and one of the things people got on you about was when you went to Miami. You go to Miami. I know some great things behind that as well. Me, lifelong Miami Heat fan, I loved it. But what was it like coming down there, winning your first championship? And what was that kind of load lifted off your back? You talk about being amongst the one-name guys. Championships obviously got to come with that. So what was that like going down there and getting that done?
Yeah, I mean, listen, my aspiration was a lot bigger than just, winning MVPs and, being an all-star and, whatever all the individual things is. Before I even got to the NBA, I've always won. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter which level you win on. If you're in a winning environment, that shit carries on throughout the rest of your life. My first year ever playing organized sports, I won a Little League football championship that year, and then backed it up with a basketball championship. Undefeated season. My second year, we did the same thing, and I was league MVP in basketball and football. Through middle school championships, through high school, I won 3 state championships. You know, like I was just always born winner, and I knew how to win because of the culture that I was around to be done. And at that moment, you know, my 7 years in Cleveland, take the team to the NBA Finals. I was 22 years old. I had a moment, you know, and took a team that you look back at our roster, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
How was that even possible?
There's a lot of those, brother. We don't want to dive into all of them. You were at the finals like 45 straight years.
You know what I'm
brother.
saying? So like, but it got to the point that final season, I was like, I've maximized this potential.
Yeah.
I've squeezed all the juice out of this damn lemon here. And I know it. And in order for me to get to where I want to get to, I have to make a choice for my career going forward. And Miami was the best choice, you know, at that moment. I feel like it was the best choice for me. You know, the conversation I had with D-Wade, had with Bosh, had with Udonis Haslam, you know, D-Wade and UD had been there. They had 1-1, had Dallas. They had been in some big you know, playoff matchups with Detroit, where Detroit beat them and they beat Detroit.
Might have been crapped out on him. No. No. Shit, I can find. No. Why? Why? It's gonna crap out on me. But I'm seeing how much I could like push this thing out. LeBron ain't saying nothing in my computer. That joint tweaking. All right, bet. Cool. So now. We about to see. But like tell me that, like what would y'all do if y'all was in LeBron shoes? I know everybody got a different like journey that they on, but like, and I'm not even a LeBron, I'm not even a basketball fan. I'm more so like I said before, I'm looking at it from the oh no. I'm looking at it from the point of view where it's like the media, some of like the other media people respect to them. They kind of just be out of control with some of the stuff they be saying. Like, so I'm pleading to you as a father. Crazy, man. No! No, extreme cracking out. 18 out. I don't like that. I didn't do anything. Alrighty. Let us. Device not connected is crazy. No, we don't want to remove that. We want to share our screen. And we finna watch LeBron James. That joint is going too. All right, bet we back in the game.
That he's just a great podcaster.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. We learned a lot, brother.
Yeah,
one of the best.
You guys were talking about like when fucking doubles here, then we round here, then we
Just rewind it for continuity purposes. Crap out.
Just, 2 more MVPs, and things that I can always look back on and say it was a hell of an experience.
And you guys were the Heatles. You know, that was, you guys were selling out everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
For sure.
while we on that, you mentioned you didn't wait, and I forget which one of them it was, but they told a story about Pat Riley fucking with your cookie.
Yes.
That's real story? Yeah. Is that a real story?
No, it's a true story.
Okay.
It's a true story. Now, like Rouse wasn't like Rouse was on the plane and I was about to get my cookies and Rouse snatched them out of my hand. You know how stories can become a little bit. They kind of build to Sasquatch at some point. Yep. But there is. I mean, I was, there was a time where everyone knows I fucking love chocolate chip cookies. It's like my my biggest vice.
Is it specific?
No, it was literally the plane that we were getting on. The ladies on the plane were making chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, homemade.
So they knew.
Wow, man.
Yeah, so they were making them and bringing them because we had the same ladies all the time. It was a party of 6. They were rotating. Every time they knew I loved chocolate chip cookies, so they would get on. And I would,
soft,
little crispy edge.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah, perfect. And I would get on, and they already knew. They'd bring me 2 cookies, and I'll get the gambling with the guys, and I got my cookies, and we good. And then one flight I got on, I looked at them, and they looked at me, and I'm like, oh, that didn't look familiar. And I asked him, I was like, he was like, no, we're not allowed to, no more cookies on these flights.
What?
And we all know where it came from. I looked at D-Wade. D-Wade looked at me. He was like, basically, without even saying, he was like, fucking Rouse done it again. Rouse strikes again. I was like, damn. Like,
So what was it like down there? Because they talk about the Miami Heat culture and Pat Riley and obviously him just saying no more cookies.
Yeah,
it's LeBron's cookies.
He don't give a fuck. One thing about Rouse, he don't give a fuck about nothing. Listen, if it ain't about that heat shield and covering that heat culture, he don't. We see what's going on now. I mean, well, not anymore, but with Jimmy and it was at one point where even I left and it was time for D-Wade to get paid and he didn't want to pay D-Wade and D-Wade left. I was like, when that happened, I was like, when Wade County had to leave and go to Chicago, I looked at the cookie situation. I was like, oh shit, maybe it wasn't that bad. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, fuck it. I mean, D-Wade's millions and my cookies. I was like, okay, maybe I made it out safe. I was like, okay, it wasn't that bad.
Let's talk about the cultures, because Cleveland, you talk about at the beginning of your career, making, feeling like you had to go to Miami. You obviously do that. You go back to Cleveland, win one. Hey,
man.
For hometown. That parade was bananas.
Yes, sir.
And then obviously out at LA, what is it about JJ Redick's culture that you have felt, experienced, and obviously a couple games have not won, but 4th in the West still on a playoff push. What is it about JJ Redick and his culture, or what you guys have right now that you like?
I think the best thing about JJ is that he's just a great podcaster.
Yeah, he is. He is. We learned a lot, brother. You guys were talking about like when fucking doubles here, then we round here, then we go under this.
He's just a podcaster that for some odd reason became a head coach and all because of me. It's just the weirdest thing in the world. And those conversations have died down. But no, I think one thing about JJ, man, he bleeds the game and he breathes the game of basketball every single day. he's one of those guys that kind of just like me. Like if we lose a game or we didn't play up to par, there's no such thing as sleeping that night. There's no such thing of sleeping into the next match, into the next game. And he's just determined to like, he's a dickhead.
Yeah. Gotta be.
And I love it. And when I was a kid, I used to watch Duke. Now I realize it. I hated Duke when I was growing up. And then when I got a little older and I started playing with Coach, I started matching up with Coach K. We played with I played with him for Team USA. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, okay, I see why he's great. I see why I hated JJ Redick. I see why I hated Shane Battier. And then Shane came over to us in Miami and helped us win a championship. I was like, I see it. Yep. He's like the greatest guys / dickheads that you ever meet.
Is that all from Coach K, you think? JJ has a lot of Coach K in?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. He's just he's meant for it. And there's just some things that can't be explained, but when you got the it factor, it's just like, oh yeah,
does he still shoot ever? Does he ever still like that?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. He'll let us know for sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about a guy who made a shot the other day in warm-ups that was, I don't know how, it defied physics, I think. Luka, he did this. He did a shot up over.
From the complete opposite.
Yeah, and then I don't know how that works, actually. Like science. I don't know how. But then he'll do one off the fucking Jumbotron. Yeah, here it is right here. You've seen this, obviously, I assume.
Yeah,
yes.
I've seen
he probably does this type of stuff every single day. What has it been like being his teammate? And I think it was the first game. There was you guys were calling it up or whatever, and you looked at Luka, and it was a big deal because you said, you don't change a damn thing. We'll change for you, actually, is what you said. And then broke it down. I think it was a big deal for people to hear you say, but also obviously Luka as well. What has it been like, and why do you guys have such good chemistry?
His name is Luka Magic for a reason. And you see that, you see his play on the game. He's a very transcendent player. And if you talk about that moment, you got to think, I can't put myself in his shoes because I've never been traded before, but I can have a sense and be a human being to know you commit to a franchise for 7 years and you feel like, this is the place where I'm going to be. This is my comfort. I talk about my comfort before I went to Miami. And then out of nowhere, bam, you just get traded. I don't give a damn where you're going. It doesn't matter who you're pairing with. That's a shock to your system. Oh, yeah. It's a shock to your system. And even though he was ready to play, that moment I feel like, guy. Mm-hmm. In order for us to reach our potential, he has to be that guy. He has to fit out, and we'll figure it out. Let us figure it out with you, because we need you to be who you are. But it's definitely. I lost a dear friend and a great friend and a champion, duo with AD, miss him to death. And but we was able to gain Luka Magic, and I think both sides will.
A lot of people thought you two wouldn't be able to work together because ball dominant, LeBron James too much of a prima donna. Yeah, that's right. Not gonna let Luka come in and do the Luka shit. They won't be able to figure it out.
Yeah, it must be the idiots that don't know the game of basketball. Oh my goodness, there's so many of those guys out there right now.
I would say your league, you, and your league has the most absurd chatter.
Oh my goodness,
it really does.
It is every single day, and then you realize I'll be looking at it and I hear it, and I'm like, those guys a lot of those guys that played the game or did not play the game. It was just they played the game while they were talented. I don't think they ever thought the game. I don't think they were ever smart. I just think they were bigger and stronger and maybe faster at the time, and they dominated. And when it was over, it was over. They don't. That's why I'm able to still play at fucking 40 years old.
Well, that's what everybody talks about.
Yeah, my mind is just like I can play the game because I can outthink the guys out there. And as my athleticism has went down a notch, not a lot, but a notch.
Slow. Don't you a little fat too?
As my athleticism has went down a notch, like I'm able to still bring up other facets of my game to be able to still, do what I need to do every single night. But the talking heads of our sport, Oh my goodness.
It's a lot. It's a lot, especially for you. I mean, you're in a much different situation than maybe any other human in history of sports, if I had to guess. And like I said, at the beginning, it's a compliment, though. Like, they're immediately telling this teenager that we need to talk about him as if he is Michael Jordan, who obviously transcended the sport, changed the sport forever, and everything like that. But then it gets to the point where it's like, hey, this is a real conversation, and it almost immediately becomes divisive. Do you? So this is an interesting concept here. You probably lost a lot of trust in media, I would assume, because of the things that happened, not just what was said on TV, but what it led other people to probably think they should say.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, it all started with the decision. The decision really like had me like sit back and like, because people literally like, I give a moment. So the decision, you know, it was brought to me to be able to, you know, do something cool on TV, you know, do a kind of college style. Like I said, never had went to college. I was like, you know, this would be pretty cool. Make the decision, put the hat on, but also, you know, raise $2.5 million for a great cause, you know, and also be able to, you know, make it cool. And the funniest thing is, from that moment, it was December 2nd, 2010 was my first game back to Cleveland. So I stay at the hotel, stay at the Ritz downtown in Cleveland. And this one I knew that it was, people did not even really care or didn't even understand the situation. They just wanted to be a part of the nonsense. I hit the elevator to go downstairs to the bus, catch the bus, to go over to, I think it was the Q, the Quicken Loans Arena then. And the elevator opens, and it's two guys, random guys on the elevator. You guys can always pull this up. They used to have these FUKLBJ T-shirts, black T-shirts, red letters. And I see the two guys, they see me, they say, oh my fucking God. Oh, no, listen, this is, man, we love you so much. We're just here for the spectacle, man. We're just here for the spectacle. Like, seriously, we love you, man. And have a good get. And the elevator door closed. I was like,
those are two white dudes, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because we're outnumbered right now.
No, we're all this together, brother. We're all this together,
it was like, oh my God, man, we fucking love you, man. Like, oh shit, don't. And the elevator closed. I was like, you know what? This is all part of the spectacle, and it's about to get haywire.
So the decision, you think, is whenever the conversation kind of changed a little bit about you?
Yeah, because they just needed something. They needed something. Everything was so positive, you know, and I gave them no reason to make it negative.
Yeah, it wasn't fucking up.
But they needed anything. You know, I'm doing everything I need to do on the court. I'm not out in the streets. I'm not being caught in all the bullshit that doesn't respect the game and respect my craft. It was like, oh, you decided to go on TV and make a decision for your career. Oh, we got you. We got it. We finally got it. We finally made a little chink in the armor.
We got something. It's selfish.
Oh, it's selfish. Yeah. You selfish mother. Yeah.
And then that caught a little bit of fire, right? Because a lot of people don't like seeing people that are successful in anything, especially if somebody's taking happiness from them and their team, which you were doing, obviously, with the Cavs. And then that just you're saying from that moment is when until which leads obviously to you and Stephen A. Hey, legit, that feels like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all seeing it. Oh yeah, you're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it, but since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, you would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you can address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, it's. And like he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, you know, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, you know, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players. And I think a lot of the media, including him, and I know he's gonna be happy as hell. He's gonna be smiling from ear to ear when he hears me talking about it again. Oh my God, he's gonna get home and grab some ice cream out of the fucking freezer and sit in his chair and his tidy whities on the couch.
I hope at some point you two do get a chance. But you're right.
Dude, relax, bro. Relax. Seriously, just
How do you feel about the way the game is covered and you players are covered? Because this is a big topic of conversation with the NBA. We have Tyrese Halliburton who comes through. We love Tyrese.
Oh, he's
the man.
Tyrese loves you too.
Tyrese is great. Love that guy.
So Tyrese gave me the heads up, like, hey, LeBron coming on your show is a massive ordeal because everybody in the NBA does look up, LeBron is our guy. I think Pat Beverly told the story down at the bubble whenever everybody was like, we need to take a stand and yada, yada, yada. And then I think he was the person who went up and said, hey, you, if you're fucking playing, we're all playing. If you're not playing, we're not playing. But I think that's how everybody in the league feels about you. So congrats on that, by the way. Respect amongst your peers.
No,
yeah,
for real.
Sure.
To have the respect for my peers, that means a lot. And I carry that, man. And I take that with a lot of responsibility because there was too many years went by when players did not have an opportunity to just speak and their voices to be heard or allow the narrative to get so much outside of sports. If I miss a game winner or if I don't show up in the finals, like I was supposed to versus Dallas in year 1 in Miami, you can say whatever the fuck you want. I should have been a lot better. I know. But don't take it to, my household or take it to what's going on and other guys. I seen something with Embiid where a reporter came into the locker room and started speaking about I think his brothers or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How weird is that? That's so weird. Why are we taking it to that point? Mm-hmm. And we're taking it to that point because people have gotten too comfortable. I think people in the media have gotten too comfortable, especially with our sport. They got too comfortable where, back in the day, for sure, you would never bring up Charles Oakley's brother.
Yeah.
Charles Oakley is smack.
Fogo is fire.
Can come from anywhere. With Wix, you decide where they go. Put your ideas into play with AI.
Charles Oakley will smack you through his brother.
Bernie Maxwell.
All right. Yeah. Mad Max. His name was Mad Max for a reason. It wasn't because he picked you up 94 feet. It was because if you said something about Mad Max, he's gonna separate your jaw. And there was no repercussions from that. They got to the point where they knew these guys can't really do anything to us anymore because there would be a fine, suspension, and don't
embarrass the league.
And don't embarrass the league, or you now here come your sponsors, they're coming after us or coming after you, and they're gonna be like, what are you doing? That's when they decided they could, they thought.
So the conversation about old school basketball is a real thing. Because that's the new narrative now is it's a nostalgia issue. A lot of people who grew up in a different era of basketball and get introduced to basketball, they're going to like that era regardless of no matter what happens in the future. You've played through what now? 3 years?
Yeah.
3 years?
Yeah.
Back whenever Kuzi was doing no-look pass.
For sure.
The first ever no-look pass.
Cool.
Kuzi.
Yeah. He's a dog.
Hey, he was an exciting white, wasn't he? He was an exciting white.
Sure.
He was
Kuz had game. Kuz had game for sure.
Boom.
Yeah, Kuz had game.
Yeah, but we're watching these highlights, and I'll speak for you.
For that era.
Exactly. Thank you. Hey, you don't have to say this.
Yeah, for sure. No,
I'll say this.
Yeah, game for that.
I grew up in Pittsburgh, so we didn't have an NBA team. So I was more NHL guy, but I would watch the Lake Show at night because I couldn't sleep. So
right.
I did know the NBA, but not I didn't follow it as closely. When I watched The Last Dance.
Right.
I was watching a lot of highlights, and I was watching people dribble a ball like this, and I was like, I don't know how that works in modern basketball. I think you guys have played a couple different sports. I think there was a koozie era of sports where a no-look pass, holy shit. Then there was an era where people were starting to get like nasty. There's some more.
You had Pistol Pete Maravich. He started coming in and started, getting a little bit net. But then the ball was hitting off guys' heads and stuff. So they looking at him like, oh, what are you doing? Like,
never see those low lights though. Only see the highlights. Highlights are the only bangers survive. Then obviously Jordan comes in and transforms everything. Him dunking from the foul line, massive ordeal. He made a whole fucking brand off it. He's flying. Now kids are like dunking from the 3-point line in high school. It's like it's just like the game has evolved so much. I think. But there is like a nostalgia combo that takes place with you guys, this modern era. Do you feel that? How do you address that?
No. I definitely feel it, and I think we just have to recognize that evolution is just a part of life, man. Like, shit, you look at the Hummer from the 1970s to the Hummer of today. It's like, you're going to be like, okay, you might be nostalgic about it. You loved it in the 70s, but do you really want to drive that every day right now in 2025? You're going to get out the car and your goddamn neck and your back is going to be hurting so bad. Like, seriously, you're going to be hurting so bad. You're going to be like, okay, you know what? This might be just a Sunday chill car. Like, I drive it up the street, get some ice cream, come back home, but I
refill it because it gets 2 miles.
Yeah, exactly. I got to just start it up, let it just crank the gas for about 2 hours just to make sure it's still running. But like we have to understand that there's players and eras and things of that nature. Like, we get it, but like, you watch some of the NFL games as well from the 70s and the 80s, and you got like, Jack Lambert and those guys coming through, like completely decapitating people, like murder. Ronnie Lott tore his pinky off and then went to the sideline. Was like, just tear the rest of it off. I'm getting back out there. Like I get it. Like, those are nostalgic moments, but like the game is different, and we should respect all eras in that era. We can't be saying, okay, just because Wilt was great in the 60s and 70s that he'll be great now. And we also can't say that some of the guys now will be great. It is what it is. Respect that era and we move on. But the whole every single day that he's better, he's not better, he wouldn't. You trying to tell me Giannis wouldn't be able to play an NBA game in the 70s?
I think handshake. He wouldn't be able to do it.
Giannis, neither would you.
Giannis Antetokounmpo would have 250 points in a game in the 70s. 250.
Is that Koozie? When was Koozie playing? Dude, Koozie's locking up fucking Giannis, brother.
He's saying 70s, not 50.
And that's no disrespect. It's no disrespect. But like, seriously, like Kyrie Irving. Like,
they would have called him a witch. They would have called him a witch.
No, they would have told Kyrie, you're not. You know how they used to tell Lou Alcindor at the time that he couldn't dunk in high school games? Yeah. They would have told Kyrie, you're not allowed to dribble anymore. That's what they would have told him. Dribbling is out ruled. They would have seen that.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'9".
And how heavy are you?
I'm give or take in between 215 to 280. I don't know. Depends on the day. Okay. Depends on if you give me my cookies or not. Yeah.
Pat Riley's like, we're tipping too close to 280. LeBron, the Eagles are becoming a heavyweight battle.
Yeah.
So 6'9"?
Yeah.
Let's say you're you look very thin right now.
Yeah. I feel good.
So 215, 6'9", 220. Could easily get to 260 though. I think that would play in a lot of different eras.
Yeah, come on. I could play.
Just like
I would be able to play in any era. It's funny you hear some of them older guys like LeBron James couldn't play in this era.
Never been fouled by Bill Laimbeer before.
Yeah. I think I seen like Dennis Rodman say that one time. He was like, LeBron James not skilled enough. Yeah, not big enough. He's not. Doesn't weigh enough. He's not strong enough.
Can't handle it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Okay, let's talk about you flopping all over the place. Yeah. That's why people get mad.
Yeah, I know.
Now, why do you do that? Patrick Mahomes does the same thing. He's the greatest of all time for us. In a conversation of the greatest of all time, the rules indicate that if you're to hit him, he gets 15.
No doubt.
Is that the same thing for you?
I wish. Because I am like literally over like the last 5-6 years while everybody's been claiming I flop all the time. I'm like in the bottom half of free throw attempts per game.
Oh, they won't give you the whistle.
You don't get the whistle.
You don't get the superstar treatment?
You know the funny thing is, I have a lot of teammates that be like, they come to the Lakers and they be like, man, when I used to play against you, I just think you got every goddamn call and I hated it. And now that I'm your teammate, it's like, oh my
Super
goodness,
chatty.
you don't get any calls. I'm like, hey, don't worry about it. Just keep playing.
No, I'll just wait till you see me in the third quarter. I got good flop code. I practiced on this one last night because there's a video from the Last Dance where I think the ref says to Michael Jordan, he goes, "I didn't see it, Michael. I am so sorry. I would never do it to you." And walks away. Yeah, I believe you, Michael. Yeah, that's the clip. And
I saw that. And Michael's like, "Oh, God damn it!" Yeah, I saw that. Oh, we.
Okay, so you and Michael at a good spot.
Who, me and Michael?
Jordan.
Yeah, we're in a good spot. We don't talk.
Why not? You think?
Because I'm still playing. I think I'm still playing. I'm still focused on my craft right now.
When you're done, you think you two will be the only two that can have a conversation?
I would hope so. The funny thing is, me and Kobe, besides our, the late great Kobe, obviously, me and Kobe never had a real relationship either until we was on the Olympic team. We had a great relationship there. Olympic team 8, Olympic team 12, but it was always competitive between us. We were always like, I was on the East Coast, he was on the West Coast, and it was like, even though we never. I fucked up one time in 09 and didn't beat Orlando. And I think it was 09, didn't beat Orlando and didn't get him an opportunity to play him in the finals. But and until I became a Laker and then he retired, that's when our relationship became really, really good.
Yeah.
He welcomed me, called me bro, anything you need in LA, I got you. You're a Laker now, you family. And we would have multiple conversations. He was obviously, you guys saw him coming to a lot of games and things of that nature. And when I passed him in the scoring record in Philly, I think he had a tweet out there keep on going, keep transcending the game, keep going, and that shit meant so much to me. So I think it's because I'm still playing, and MJ's, we all know MJ. Even if you don't know him personally, he's one of the most ruthless competitors there is. And till I'm done. And he doesn't have to look at me run up and down wearing the number 23. And every time my name is mentioned with his. He's like, I don't want to fucking talk to you.
Yeah, I'm on a golf course. Yeah, I'm on a golf course.
Don't talk to me right now. I'm on the back 9. Do not call me.
It was great to see y'all at the top 75.
Oh yeah, that was dope. That was dope. That's straight respect, admiration, and just me for sure. I mean, shit. Like I said, I wear 23. Because of MJ, and that shit, the inspiration that he gave me as a kid in Akron, Ohio, that don't have much inspiration in your hometown. You look at something. It got to be somebody in sports, somebody in music, somebody on the TV screen. So Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Tupac. That was that was my inspirations. You know what I'm saying? I needed that because I didn't have.
Lang.
Yeah, couldn't be fucking Jerome Lang.
Yeah.
He's they know me and shit. So you know what I'm saying?
Kind of on that note, Bronny, your son, he's obviously had that inspiration in the home and you talked about it since years ago, wanting to play long enough to play with your son. So you obviously visualized that.
Yeah.
How was the real moment with that happening? Because I know me seeing it, seeing the Griffeys there, just seeing it, that was just an unbelievable moment. So what was that like for you really actually being in it?
Seeing that pop fly head towards King Griffey Sr. and then see Junior over there right before the ball got to his glove and he snatched it out the air and run back to the dugout laughing at his pops. That was a cool ass moment. And for that moment, that game opened, that home opener versus Minnesota, and then just over there and see Griffey Jr., man, the kid, and seeing his pops over there and us getting that picture at half court and then us going out on the floor and having that moment. I wasn't even there.
Mm.
I wasn't even there.
You're floating.
I'm floating. And I can only imagine where Bronny was. I don't know. We haven't even talked about it yet. At some point we will, but I wasn't even there. I might have been in the rafters. I might have been at home. My body may have been at home watching the game, watching the moment. I completely was not there. And but damn, that was an unbelievable moment, man, for me to be able to have that dream, be able to speak it into existence, for it to come to fruition, for my mom and my wife and my daughter and my youngest son to be there. There's not less than a year, man.
That came out of nowhere, seemingly.
That came out of nowhere. It was a birth defect that, quite honestly, if he never played sports or he never like started to become, strong and run fast and all those stuff, we probably would never have to worry about it. But as he got stronger and things of that nature, it was just something inside his heart that, was just pounding at his heart and pounding at his lungs that, unfortunately, we had the incident. And thankfully, a lot of these kids we've been seeing a lot lately in sports, not only in basketball, but in football.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we was able to catch it. And to all the families out there that haven't had the opportunity to catch their kids before it gets to the point where they're not here anymore. Like, to see that happen to Bronny and for him to be able to play that same year after that happened, at USC, and then less than a year later be drafted by the Lakers, and then in that fall, we go out there together. So that's why I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we walked in together, but I was not there.
That's a dad moment. That's really cool.
Yeah,
People forget, you're only one name now, LeBron, but you're still a human too. And I assume seeing,
for sure.
Your baby boy,
Yeah.
get a chance to experience his dream.
Man.
Then obviously that led to the thing with Stephen A. talking about him and how critical everybody has been of Bronny. And I think that's a pressure that a second generation star has on him.
Yeah, for
His
sure.
whole life he's had that. It feels like he is very,
You want to say hey to people?
I mean, he's like a 55-year-old, it looks like, the way he kind of handles it all. And I think you've even said that as well.
Yeah.
But how about his development? We had Rich Paul on the day after the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Because there was a bunch of rumors.
Touches of black. They say a lot without having to say much. They stand for elegance.
You're not
Rich Paul was telling teams, hey, you draft them, we'll send them to Australia.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of those types of things happening. Luckily, the Suns were involved. There was a chance they could get you, but he ends up with the Lakers with you.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's a whole storm. Like, LeBron James is bullying, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
Everything, the way it always goes.
Of course.
This guy's not good enough. This guy's not this. He does start out a little bit rough, NBA-wise.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, he just dropped 39 last night in the G League.
Yeah.
I think he had like a double-double or something. He had his best game in the NBA last week.
Yep.
He's obviously getting better and better. You have to be loving every moment. And how proud of Bronny are you for what he's going through?
Listen, for me as a dad, it doesn't matter if he never scores ever. For me as a dad, I'm just super proud of him, period, as a young man. For me, as a mentor and as a teammate of his, and that wants to see him thrive because I've seen the work he's put into the game, I am super proud of his development to where he is now. From the moment that, he was drafted in June of 2025 to us being now in March of 2026, his development is skyrocketed, and I just think I had a good friend of mine, who went through a cardiac arrest as well. And he told me that, it took him, and he played basketball as well. And back then when it happened to him in the early 2000s, they wasn't with going back to performing. It was like, if it happened, it's over with.
Well, let's not roll the dice.
Yeah, we're not rolling the dice. There was not enough data on it. It's like, you have a cardiac arrest, it is over. We don't want this on our resume. They was not going back to perform the play. And he told me, he was like, man, I'm gonna be honest, it took me about 2.5 years to finally get back to just normalcy. Like my body, my mind, and he said when it happened to me, I was 23 years old. Bronny was 19 years old, and he's like, it's gonna take a little time, and I reason with that, but also he's doing things right now less than 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's because of his determination and his will to want to get better and his will to I don't really care what y'all saying. I hear it. He did an article the other day. He was like, yeah, I hear the noise. I use it as motivation, but I also know what I'm capable of. And, I've always told my kids, like all of them, they all play sports. 2 basketball players. My youngest son going to Arizona. On a full ride. My daughter's
what is he, 7 foot tall, by the way? That came out of nowhere. Bryce, right?
Yeah.
He popped up out of nowhere because we follow your
nowhere.
family on the internet, obviously. We see it all. And it's like Bronny, okay, and then little Bryce.
Yep.
Little Bryce with the glasses.
Right, exactly.
And then all of a sudden, one video popped up of an Aussie, and Bryce.
Bryce taller than Bronny.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
So he on his way to Arizona. My daughter's, she's playing 12 and under volleyball. She just turned 10. So and I just tell him, it doesn't matter about the noise. That's going to happen. It's only about if you love it, Go out and practice. If you think you want to, if you fall in love with it, you only can fall in love with the process. Don't worry about the outcome. Fall in love with the process, and that shit will take care of itself. So super proud of Bronny, man. I know very long-winded when you talk about the kids. I just start thinking about them, but super proud of his game and where he is today. You know, starting off the G League season with like, you know, just trying to figure it out, and now, shit, like you said last night, 39, and more than anything, when I talked to him, he was more pissed off at the technical free throw that he missed more than anything. He's like, I could have had a 40 burger. He said, I could have had a 40 ball, and I missed that damn technical free throw. So, man, the kid is he's awesome.
He's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
It is, and the story has gotten so loud, and I think that's why listening to you talk and you say you get long-winded about the kid, it's like, well, that's why everything happened. That happened a couple weeks ago. But, like, you playing with him, obviously was a dream. You said that years ago. Bryce now, though, I mean,
very possible.
That is.
Oh, don't do that to me.
Yeah,
oh, my
yeah.
Oh my goodness!
And you said you're 215, nowhere near 280. You're in the best shape.
Exactly.
The best shape you've been in. That conversation's loud about now. About how many more does LeBron James have? I think fans. I think the league. I bet you Adam Silver is wondering the same exact thing because of what you've done for the league, for how long you've done it. That convo pops up every year. Is it for you too, or is it just for outside people?
No, it's popping up more and more every year because obviously I know I'm on the other side of the hill than the previous side, you know. So I've done this for a long time, and then obviously I know it start like, okay, now you get to the top of that roller coaster, and it's like, okay, when is this damn roller coaster going to go down?
Kennywood, yeah.
You know, like, so I understand that. So I don't know, man. It's all about, for real, for me, it's my mind. If I could continue to, I am all about the process. Like, I am all about the process. And if it gets to the point where I don't feel like showing up to the arena 5 hours in advance, or I don't feel like training, or I don't feel like studying the scout sheet of guys, like if it gets to that point, like I know, like, you know what, Brian, it's a wrap.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell.
Yeah, you'll be able to tell.
Yeah, you will be personally. Yeah. 5 hours before the game, you're showing up every day?
Yeah, 7:30 game. I'm usually there around 2:15.
What do we got? We got a cold tub. We're drinking some, putting some wine on our feet. Sure. What are we doing?
We're doing a little bit of everything for sure. I'm some wine, drink a little wine too.
Oh, I saw you walking into the game. Remember Big Boost bag? Oh yeah. Yeah, I was walking with the wine to the game. Yeah, I remember that. Mailed it in, LeBron.
Being in the NBA is like a real, like, full-time job. Like, he said he got to be there 5 hours before the game. So if the game at 8, he there at 3. If the game at, like, that's crazy to me, bro. And to know that they able to do what they do is beautiful.
Showing up drunk, everything you do is talked about.
Yeah, I had one former Laker. Well, I wasn't even playing. It was preseason. I had worked out before the game. I wasn't playing in like a former Laker. I was on the bench, like, you know, eating fruit. Like, you know, I worked out. I had, okay, shit, I got a shower. Let me get out here to watch the guys, support the guys during the preseason game. It's like year fucking 20 for me, probably. Why am I even going out here for a preseason game? But I'm a good guy, and I love my teammates, and I'm a good teammate. So I go out there, and the next day I wake up as a fucking Laker guy, play for the Lakers. Yeah, I know you guys are gonna look this up. It's like, look this up. Like, that's very selfish, LeBron. Why is he over there eating fruit? What are you doing? He could have did that in the back, or he could have had that at home. I'm like, bro, I'm literally just trying to like replenish everything I just lost in my workout in the weight room and in the back that you didn't see, but you worried about me about a damn bowl of fruit.
Everything.
You're not being committed is the conversation. That is LeBron James, this guy's not committed. Not committed
like I had a steak and eggs over there or some shit. Like, I don't know, man.
Something to think about.
That might be next. Give him something to really think about.
Yeah, a little protein in there. Connor, massive Boston Celtics fan, has a question for you.
Yeah. Who's Boston Celtics fan? You know, try to get if you can. You know, who knows? This might not be the year, but looking at the league and looking forward, the big convo is, you know, once LeBron is gone, who's the face of the league? Everyone's talking about the face of the league. You know, as a Celtics fan, of course, I say, like, why doesn't Jason Tatum get more love? But even talking about the future, when for you did you become the face of the league? Like what year was it? Obviously right away you're getting talked about as, a one name guy, but when did you feel like, okay, this is officially my league? Like I am taking over this entire thing.
You know what? I never had that notion. And never like woke up like, after I brushed my teeth, like, yeah, this is my league. I'm the face of the league. Damn it.
Shinies up.
I'm gonna shine these up. But I did know there was a responsibility put on me to carry the league in a certain fashion. You gotta think that like before I entered the league, and like right after MJ retired, after he came back the second or third time, he came back and he was done with Washington. There was a big like, fan player separation with our league. They just wasn't resonating with a lot of the players, or a lot of guys was didn't really care, or whatever the case may be. And I felt like in order for myself to make a name for myself, obviously I knew the play was going to take care of itself because I knew how much I committed to it, but also I wanted to handle the responsibility of showing a face of the league in the sense of like a modern citizen, being a role model. It was, we have guys who, didn't want to be a role model to the sport, or didn't want to be a role model to the game, didn't want to appreciate the game or commit to the game. And I felt like, I had an opportunity to not only play the game that I love, but also I wanted fans to follow me. I wanted people to follow my journey. And what came out of that was me kind of being, I guess people say, the face of the league.
Yeah, the Sprite commercials.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I never went out to be like, I want to be the face of the league. Like, I seen I see a lot of shit too. Like I seen Brian Windhurst on one of these shows not too long ago. Like
Wendy.
Yeah, you played
Wendy, you guys played together in high school.
Yeah,
right? He was on your high school
this
team.
guy was like, says he's like my fucking best friend. These guys are just weird. But
wait, Wendy, isn't that that's not real.
Yeah, it was our enforcer, huh?
Knew it.
Yeah, he went on his show and said, like, oh, don't let LeBron fool you. Like,
she's definitely taking advantage of the Grubhub deal from Amazon.
That's why I keep running into you.
Amazon Prime member, you can get $0 delivery fees on Grubhub. Eligible orders only. Terms and additional fees apply.
he wears number 23 because of Michael Jordan. Okay, that's a fact. He signed with Nike because of Michael Jordan. It's like, no, the fuck I didn't. I signed with Nike because I got a hell of a signing bonus, and they gave me a 7-year, $90 million contract. And I moved my mom out of the hood the next day I signed that contract. Like, and ultimately, my whole thing is like, what do I want to wear off the court? It's like, I want to wear fucking Nikes. Like, I want to wear Jordans. I want to wear pennies. I want to wear Bo Jacksons. I want to wear Air Maxes. I want to wear, like, so
primes.
Like, like, what are we talking about? So, like, I knew there was a responsibility for sure. Like, listen, man, during the ball drop, during the lottery drop, Cleveland got the #1 pick. I just don't think that was. What a coincidence!
Don't you think?
Wemby with the Spurs.
Oh my God! Let's keep LeBron home. You know what? Patrick Ewing to the Knicks. Derrick Rose to the Bulls. I understand the assignment, guys. I had to make sure that, I had to do my part. I didn't want to be a fuck up. I just didn't want to be a fuck up, man. Like I said earlier in the show, like, no one gets this opportunity, man. It's 0 to none, and I couldn't be a fuck up. So that's what came with it.
You've done a great job representing it all. Do you feel like we are at a phase, though, and you talked about before you got in the league, there was like a potential disconnect between the players and the fans.
Yeah.
Felt like that was almost starting to happen again until, I don't want to say, back half of this season, feels like most momentum you guys have had in a while. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think it's all just understanding, from a player perspective. And also, we're getting closer to playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long ass season, man. Difference between us and the NFL, man. There's so much excitement, but it's one game a week, and you get an opportunity to get excited, like when that Sunday or you got Thursday night games now. And,
Monday.
I mean, shit, even occasional Saturday games.
Wednesday.
Christmas. It took
It took Christmas from you guys.
Christmas. Okay, it's like the fucking Grinch. Like, but no, in all seriousness, it's one game a week, so you the excitement, is there. So you have us. We just came out of playing 6 games in 8 days. 6 games in 8 days is like, oh man, and 3 sets of back to back. So, but the playoffs is on its way. The weather is getting better. Mm-hmm. The excitement is getting, the crunch time is like, in the West is, you got 4 or 5 teams, 1 or 2 games from behind each other, So I think that's the connection is coming back. Everyone loves it. And now you got March Madness going on in college basketball.
You follow?
So I'm going to be honest. No, I don't follow, man. I don't do the brackets. I love the sport. I watch occasionally some games, but it's hard watching college basketball for me, man.
Different sport.
Yeah, it's a different sport.
You guys play?
Yeah, it's a different sport from when we play. And every time a kid drives, a kid can just come out of nowhere and slide up underneath him, and it's always a charge. You can't do a Euro step, it's a travel.
Well, Derek Queen, actually.
Yeah.
Kid from Maryland. I don't know if you saw that.
Gather step. I love it. Take that ball, gather 1, 2 off glass, game time. And I just don't, you shouldn't need 35 seconds to shoot the damn basketball.
Got
it. It's but it's the game.
I hate 2 halves. Why is that a thing?
Yeah, the only sport, right? The only level.
But women's went to 4 quarters, right? Yeah. We went 2 halves for. It's long. It's so. I don't want to watch 1 half.
Yeah, it's too.
It's too long. It's long.
It's long, and then they got to stack the timeouts because of commercials too. Whenever the game play, I think the 4 quarters kind of helps TV as well.
It does. It does, and it helps the players too. Like it's 4 quarters and. It's too long. You get a kid who gets 2 fouls in the first half. He can't play again. He's sitting over there for an hour of real time. It's like you don't want to see your favorite player in college because that's what the game is built on. Like you get your favorite player. Like if Cooper Flagg right now gets 2 fouls in the first half, you're like, I don't want to watch this Duke game anymore.
Do you feel like this next generation? Because Wemby is obviously
he's a stud.
He's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable.
But Joker is also 6'11", whatever it is. KD obviously says he's not 7 foot. Feels like he is.
And then he's always taller than everybody at the All-Star Weekend photos for some odd reason.
But he obviously, whenever he came into the league, and I think Dirk also big shooter, but the tall, multifaceted player is the next generation, right?
Yeah, that's their inspiration. Their inspiration is, Dirk. Their inspiration is KD. Their inspiration are those guys who you look at KD, 6'9" to 7 foot, depending on what he wants to tell you. That great handle, the smoothness, the be able to, shoot off the dribble and also be able to catch and shoot and be able to look silky smooth out there while being the tallest guy on the court.
And they're doing koozie stuff.
Exactly.
Somehow, I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know how they're doing it.
So Katie's big time inspiration to guys like Wemby, to guys like Cooper Flagg, who's coming in. You have a lot of these guys. So
Chet has
Chet as well.
This Derek Queen kid, 6'10".
Yeah,
6'10". He's in the. I don't know if you heard about him saying, "Give me the motherfucking ball."
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore.
Yeah, that is absolutely fantastic.
I'm from Baltimore. One of my best friends from Baltimore, Carmelo Anthony. So I get it. I get it. Give me the damn ball, and he wanted the ball.
That's what I told him in the conversation. I was like, Baltimore is one of the cities where if you give an answer on why are you a confident human, I'm from Baltimore. Everybody's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, there's no follow-up question to that. Okay, got it. I got it.
Ty has a question for you.
So obviously you could play another 10 years if you really wanted to. I mean, it really does seem like that. But as you've gotten older, I mean, you have all this other shit off the court. You have the production studio, the podcast, all that kind of stuff that you're doing, all these different business ventures. How hard is it focusing on a lot of that stuff and not letting everything you have to do basketball wise kind of suffer? Because I mean, you don't seem like the kind of guy where it's like you're going to start a production studio and just be like, fuck it, you guys handle everything. I'll attach my name to it. But how difficult is that balancing those two? Because this is obviously some stuff that you seem like you're passionate about.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely got some great people in place. My right hand man, Maverick Carter, he's unbelievable.
Dog.
He's a dog. And the greatest thing about him is his ability to, create relationships that last long And we've never been just one-off guys. Like, we want to be able to create partnerships, you know, and not like endorsement deals. Like, that was like a thing of the past. That was something that we didn't want to do. So the trust that I have with him, I allow him because of shit I've been knowing him my whole life, you know. And when you have that type of chemistry and you have that type of brotherhood and that type of trust, you allow him to do it. But also, he's always checking in with me like, hey, listen, this is what we have going down the pipeline, yay or nay. You know, this is why I feel it will be beneficial to us. But ultimately, like, do you want to do it or not? You know, so like in this instance, like, you know, I got to the point where, you know, you brought that up and why I started, you know, the podcast Mind the Game with JJ, you know, last year. It was like, it was a looseness of the sport being covered and how the sport should be covered. It had got away from the essence of the game of basketball, of why I fell in love with the game, why I teach the younger generation the game, why I am in the position, you know, that I am in. And we have that conversation. Me and Matt was like, okay, I got what you're saying. Okay, let me go figure it out. And he goes to figure it out. So
I learned so much from that show. I legitimately did. Now, obviously, looking back on it, it was just you interviewing JJ Redick, Lakers, that entire thing. But I assumed JJ was going to become a head coach after that show, regardless. Because the way you guys talked about it, to your point about never hearing it be discussed like that, legitimately, as a football person, as another sport person, never played basketball, whenever you guys were drawing up plays and like why you do this and debating on how to cover and all that, I felt like I got smarter as a basketball fan. So first of all, I'd like to thank you for that alongside JJ.
That.
And also congratulations, season 2, Mind the Game.
Season 2.
Wow, it's back.
I haven't clapped all night, but I'm going to clap all that. Yes, sir. Season 2, man.
With
Steve Nash, man.
Wow. Okay.
The great Steve Nash, man.
So he's been a coach before, obviously, and obviously he's played a long time in the NBA. Yes. I had one chance to interview Steve Nash, and I learned about him in real time. And I think he played a lot of years.
Yeah, for sure. Legend.
Two-time MVP, right?
Whatever the
two-time
years
MVP,
are. I looked at him and I said, you played blank amount of years? And he goes, yeah. I go, holy shit, man. Yeah. I literally learned it in real time. Legend out there.
Absolutely.
But also loves the game, obsessed with the game, which feels like why it could potentially be a great fit for season 2 of Mind the Game.
No, absolutely. We're looking forward to it, man. We got an episode, 2 episodes in the bank. We're going to get a couple more soon, and we're going to just like continue to preach the game, how it's, how it's supposed to be taught, how it's supposed to be viewed. And, we understand that, some of the other things is going to be said, it sells for them. But, what we've grown to love, why me and JJ did it in the first place, why me and Steve are doing it now, is because this is how we grew up loving the game. This is what brought us together. This is what the essence of the game should be talked to not only the generation that's playing now, but the generation that's going to come up after us. So Mind the Game season 2 coming, y'all, man.
Can't wait. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Can we talk about a couple things real quick that we have covered?
Absolutely.
Taco Tuesday, you saw that? Is that real?
It's today Tuesday.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, today is Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Tuesday. That was quite a situation. Barbershop, another one.
Oh, yeah, man, the shop. Oh, yeah. I grew up in it. That was easy. That was another easy one, man. It was like too many conversations that's going on right now. That's not the essence. It's not the essence, man. I remember getting dropped off as a 5-year-old. Mom dropped you off. She go do what the hell she had to go do, make her errands. She talked to the guy that's cutting your hair. How many he's behind? About 3 or 4. Okay, about 3 hours. Shit, being there about 3 hours, and I gotta wait there and sit there and wait my turn. And in that moment, that's when you hear everything. You start hearing about the best MC that's going on right now, the best hair product, the best beard oil, the best people in sports, your music. It is everything.
Drama.
Everything.
Yeah.
Every single thing goes on in a barbershop. So, for us to be able to create that platform, the shop, to be able to bring on all the beautiful minds that we've brought onto the shop, men and women, it's been a pleasure, it's been an honor, and we keeping that thing going, man, because it's a comfort place. I went to the barbershop from when I was like 5 all the way through high school, and to be able to have that sense of like truth. It's the one place of truth where you can go out there and be like, this is who I like. All right, that's who you like, and we're going to fight to the battle about it, and it'll be a new topic the next day. And, I think it's pretty cool.
You guys did a couple watch-alongs, too, for Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, man. Oh, that was dope. I mean, you guys know my love for the sport of football. So to be able to do that.
You wouldn't be able to take a shot, though, remember?
Yeah,
yeah, 6'9", 250 pounds, wouldn't be able to handle football.
Yeah, man. A lot of, I wouldn't be allowed to do a lot of things, they say. Oh, they got my little high school highlights up there. First Benedictine. That's where Rich Paul went to high school, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. I was playing against Rich Paul High School there.
One of the greatest American hustlers of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Legit, I think the record will state that Rich Paul may be one of the greatest hustlers of all time. You're from Ohio, so obviously football state.
Yeah, man.
Obviously basketball as well.
Yep.
You love the game. I think you've talked openly about how much you love ball.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Football was my first sport, man, my first love. I grew up big time, prime time Deion Sanders fan. Big time Eric Metcalf fan too. Growing up in Akron and seeing him up in Cleveland, seeing Eric Metcalf do his thing up there too, man. Seattle's finest, Eric Metcalf. And just grew up just always loving the sport, man. Like, seeing, Jerry Rice and seeing some of the old clips of like Walter Payton sweetness and, seeing Barry Sanders. That was another topic of conversation in like the barbershop. Barry Sanders versus Emmitt Smith.
Oh yeah.
So you hear that conversation, so I remember my mom buying me a pair of Barry Sanders sneakers. Ooh. I was like, oh man.
It felt so quick.
Yeah, it felt so quick.
Yeah.
Elusive
as shit.
And they was like, I don't know if they was one of the first teams. Obviously, I don't know that for a fact, but like seeing Barry Sanders on turf, wearing sneakers, that was super cool as a kid. So yeah, it's a great sport. I mean, I love it. I love football, and I love the new guys now. Like, they're super cool. My favorite guy, Derrick Henry, seeing Saquon like out there, and I got guys like wearing my shoes now.
Yeah.
When Saquon did that move where he like turned backwards and did a pirouette backwards and jumped up in the air, and like he had my kicks on. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh, I didn't know those were yours. They were sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. He had the LeBron retro 4s on in a spike when he did that. Like
spin move nasty.
Oh my goodness.
Those are in the bronze.
Yes. Yeah, I was like super, like I was going crazy. I was like, I couldn't believe it.
I didn't even know that.
So I love it.
Okay, let's talk about something else that we have to address. The Olympics. You saw your eyes blink sideways. What was that all about? What was that? What the fuck was that? Hey, I need to know what happened. Is that always happen? Your eyes always blink like that, or is that just at the Olympics? I
don't know. That was probably like my Michael Jackson Thriller video moment. When he went from like, he kind of turned into that beast of his. I don't know, man. I saw that and it kind of freaked me out too.
Yeah, okay.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you also saw it. You also saw it and thought the same thing everybody else did. Okay.
Yeah, there was people like, oh my God, he's actually there in Paris and he may be at his home in California at the same time.
This guy's not a human.
Yeah, this guy's not human.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That was a real conversation that was happening.
Oh yeah.
And I watched it a couple times. I was like,
hold on.
I'll tell you what.
I mean,
the fucking eyes orange.
I can't sit here and say that it was not real or was not.
Okay.
We just leave it at that.
Okay.
We just leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Okay. When you think about the rest of the season and you think about this Lakers team, you guys will have success if what?
Wow. Well, obviously we could go without saying any team, health. Health. That's the most important for our team. We are not in a position where we can afford anybody to go down. And then after that, Luka, myself, and AR-15, we got to be all clicking at the same time. And we know there's going to be games where, it happens throughout the course of a playoff game where, I may not be making my shots or whatever, or AR is not making his shots, or Luka might not be making the shots. But as far when I say clicking, we have to be in tune on what we got to do every single night, because we got to make sure everybody's in the right place every single game. The playoffs is literally one possession to have you losing a series. One possession can make you lose a series, and it's up to us three. Obviously I know my voice and what I command out of guys, that's going to be heard Luka's play. Some people lead by example, and the way AR his affections play. We have to make sure we have everybody in tune, and because we know that our coaching staff gonna give us the game plan. JJ's not gonna send us out there on a wild goose chase.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, we're gonna be. He and his coaching staff. They're gonna make sure we know what the hell we need to do in order to get the job done, and then it's up to us to go get it done.
You guys are gonna mind the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
You guys are gonna mind the game.
Always do.
Season 2, Steve.
Season two.
Available soon. Hey, we can't thank you enough for stopping
No, I
by.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, dude.
Great
Legitimately.
man.
You're
appreciate
awesome.
you boys over there, man.
I didn't know we were snapping after. I feel like I missed it.
Yeah, when I found out you was a Celtic fan, I thought you were gonna throw a beer on me. Like what happened?
No,
What is that? Is that what's the
Yeah, after I went for 45 in there, that threw a beer on me. On
Yeah,
the
the
way
Heat.
out,
I mean, if you're still in the Heat, that's still wrong. But I also do have one kind of mythological, whatever the word is, question. You don't read those fucking books before the games, right? All those books. You open it to the first page, and then you don't read those fucking books ever again. Great role model.
Listen. I actually have finished those books. Oh, hold on.
Like if you were to hold this,
Hold on.
people say you would say you read it.
Mm-hmm.
This is how.
That's the art of winning.
Someone take a photo.
All right, take the photo, please. Pat, take the photo.
Yeah, we got it. Hold on. I'll take it from this angle.
You probably read Rich's book.
We got it.
The first page.
Wow, holy shit. Braun read it.
And then that's it.
That's it. I didn't even talk to you guys this whole time I was up here. All I did was read the whole book.
Meteor Man.
That's it. Meteor Man.
Everybody might not know that movie, but
it's a classic, by the way. It's a classic.
So you get talk about the books, the music. Music's another thing.
Yeah.
Did you see the future of music?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Acting.
Yeah, everything.
Who's next in the music world if you had to give a prediction?
Wow.
Yeah, because we've heard you say, when I heard this guy, I knew.
You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question. I literally go to when it comes to like the new generation now, this is the best thing about having teenagers as well. You can literally go to them and get the whole
the scoop.
Yeah, the scoop. But I don't know, man. I don't know who's next up, but I do love music though, man. But I'm definitely been listening to it. I got ready for the game yesterday, listening to Eric B and Rakim, man. Like I'm an old school guy too, so. But we see.
Music and sports go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So much.
No, for sure.
And
no question about it.
Your knowledge of it has certainly been something that people have chatted about.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Hey, you mind the music as well.
That's right.
And you mind the books. Do you mind the game?
Mind the tacos.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tuesdays only on
mind the movies.
Yeah, you mind the movies.
As long as they don't take away my mind the cookies, we'll be fine.
Dang.
Pat Riley's.
Yeah.
Damn it, Riley.
Yeah, we were fine.
The Heatles are done.
Still love.
Yeah.
Got the last
The
one.
Heatles are done. This guy doesn't have any fucking cookies.
It's over.
It's over with,
Still
man.
got Spo. We still got the look. We good.
I don't know. People are saying the D Wade Kerr statue is now carrying on forever.
It's a bad statue.
I haven't seen it yet. Oh well, in person.
You don't want it.
I've seen it. I've seen it on. Yeah.
No.
I love my guy.
Hey, when you get your statue done, just let's make sure it's a good one.
Yeah, check it
There's
before.
I'm not going to
some
unveil it
ass
to the
ones.
world.
What do you mean?
Got to.
That's what a fucking statue is. man.
No, fuck that. No.
You're gonna put it in your bed?
If I need to see it multiple times,
Before we let it out.
yes.
Because if not, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, Wade saw his. He said.
Yeah, he said he saw it. He liked it.
Yeah, but I think he was just sticking up for the person.
Yeah, him and his son
Artistic expression.
Good
looked
teammate.
like they didn't like it.
Yeah, he's a good teammate.
I remember that moment. Though.
Yeah, when he stood on the table. Well, if he,
My shit.
All right, LeBron, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, go. Yeah, okay, we're clapping. I like
I'm clapping for y'all.
Ladies and
I'm
gentlemen,
clapping for y'all, man.
LeBron James. Hold on.
I'm clapping for y'all, man. I'm clapping for y'all, man.
Yeah, we're snapping.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man.
You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James. All right, that was obviously an incredible honor to get a chance to chit-chat with LeBron. I hope you had a chance to learn some things maybe you never knew about. Why don't you go ahead and use the hashtag #TheLebronversation on X and let us know, and we'll read some of the reactions on the other side. Shout out to ESPN moving this break
pretty much
that
done
we were
with
supposed to have about 25 minutes ago, this long into it. It was unfiltered, unedited.
So yeah, those are just kind of some things we're gonna be doing on the Twitch, on the YouTube side. Shout out to everybody that was tuned in. Shout out to everybody that stay tuned in. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all go do all that. Make sure y'all follow us on Twitch. We're gonna be doing this more often. And then again, we always doing a live stream at any point in time in the day because we could just do it like that. So make sure y'all tune in tonight. We're doing Avengers Assemble episode 3. Doing the podcast with the Michigan Avengers, one of our new partners on the network. So make sure y'all tap in with that. Make sure y'all tune in for when we do the Madden, when we do the Madden mobile. Make sure y'all tune in for all of that. Cause all of that is content for y'all so we can know what y'all like, so we can know what to keep producing. So yeah. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Go copy some merch. If you on the YouTube, if you on the Twitch, you should see the link for the merch in the bio, all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna see y'all later. We're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be going live at like 8 o'clock, 8:30 with the Avengers Assemble on the network because we a real network, all that good stuff. So yeah, just make sure y'all tune in, make sure y'all tap in, and yeah, see y'all later. Up this go. And we out.